Hi everyone, welcome to Edupedia World. I am C. Radhika Sandhu. So we were discussing regarding receivable management in our previous classes. Receivable management is very critical because loosening of credit period may enhance the sales, may push up the sales and ultimately the profits of the company, but it also increases the chances of bad debts. So the management they has to follow a policy and they have to utilize those cash funds very economically so as that the increasing in receivables will not adversely affect the increasing sales and making more profits. Receivable management could say that there are different types of costs which is being involved. To classify them, cost of maintaining receivables includes of capital cost because it blocked the funds of the company. The funds which are forming the receivables will take a time lag to get converted into cash. So for those period, the company either has to arrange the funds from outside or the company is arranging or procuring the funds from the internally generated resources. And both of them have some cost for the company. For the outside, the company may have to pay interest, and for the internally generated, there is an opportunity cost of foregoing the investment in other best opportunity. The other cost is the administration cost because if the company has receivables, then the company may have to put some person to maintain an account receivable. And apart from that, the company has to also look over the credit worthiness of the customer before giving any credit period to a customer. For this, the company also has to spend a time or keep one person to judge the credit worthiness of that customer. To evaluate a customer credit worthiness, companies generally look over the three C's. First is collateral, character, and the last one is capacity. Character is a very important because character implies the willingness of a customer to repay back the application amount. So it's a very important aspect because it actually determines the integrity of the customer. The next is capacity. By capacity is evaluating the capacity of the customer to repay back the amount within time. For this, the company look over the quick ratio of the customer, the turnover ratio, its average collection period, its current asset ratio to actually judge the liquidity in the business. And the third one is collateral. Collateral means the security. So a security company keeps, for example, that what type of security that a customer has given for the amounts he owes from us. Other costs are collection cost in case the customer do not repay. So you have to send the reminders to the customer to repay back the amount. And the last one is the defaulting cost. Defaulting cost it happens when the customer is not in a situation to repay back the amount and ultimately the company has to recognize that amount as a bad debt. And in such scenario, there may be a scene that the bad debt cannot be recovered and it has to be ultimately written off from the books. But that is an expense over the company. So these are generally the four costs which the company has to bear over receivables, over maintaining those receivables. And hence it's a very important crucial decision for a management to evaluate the credit policy for the company or to manage the funds over the receivables. For the management of the funds or over debtors, there are also institutions which provide such services. One such institution is called as factoring. Factor agents provide the services related to debtor management. So they provide all such services from evaluation of the credit worthiness of a customer, sending reminders to the customers, preparing aging schedules so as to know that how long the customer is due and if there is any possibility of the customer to default. The factor agent also make collection from the customer, they send the invoices, bills, all those services which are related with the debtors are held by the factory. However, this is one of the very expensive service. This is not so famous and in India RBI used to provide such services. And so while evaluating the factoring proposal, obviously the cost has to be taken. There is as such no other specific question related to it. Yes, there's one thing. Factoring could be recourse and it could be non-recourse. Now, what do you mean by recourse and non-recourse? So you can say that recourse is the one where the factor agent is not responsible for a bad debts, and ultimately the company. What happened that the factor agent generally used to give an advance against the receivables, and if the receivables defaults, then it's the customer only who's responsible to cover up those bad debts. The factor agent does not take their responsibility. And in non-recourse, the factor agent even take the responsibility to collect the amount from those bad debts. So once the factor agent advances the company is not responsible to collect the amounts from the all the debtors. So irrespective of the debtor repay or does not repay, it's the factor agent who will bear the cost. So for the recourse, generally there is a less commission expense, but the non-recourse fees is generally high. This is one example. The turnover of Sparkle Limited is rupees 100 lakh, of which 72% is on credit. So debtors are 72 lakhs. So this turnover is for the whole year. So 72 lakhs is the turnover of the whole year as a debtor, credit turnover. Debtors are allowed 1 month credit to clear the dues. So we can easily compute what is the per month credit period. A factoring company is willing to advance 80% of the bill raised on credit at a fee of 1% per month. So we can do this question either by calculating the whole year expense or by just calculating month expense, and a commission of 5% on the total amount of debt. So what is the expense of keeping one factoring agent? Factoring agent will charge a credit fee of 1% per month. So 72 lakhs are the debtors. This means 6 lakh debtor every month. 6 lakh debtor into 1% commission, which means there is 6,000 commission fee by the factoring agent. Sorry, that is the fee bill raised which is being, and a commission of 5% on the total amount of debt. So 72 lakh is for the whole year into 1 by 12 is 1 month debtor. 1 month debtor into 5% will be the commission to be paid to the factoring agent, right? Sparkle Limited, as a result of the arrangement, is likely to save rupees 48,000 annually. And this is the expense which is incurred by keeping a factor agent. But because of that expense, the company will save 48,000 annually. That means 48,000 divided by 12, 4,000 is the monthly saving by the company. And avoid bad debt of 1% of the credit sales. So 72 lakh is the credit sales. This is for the whole year. Divide by 12 will give you 1 month figure, and it's 1% will give you the extra saving over bad debt. So this will give you the net cost of keeping one factor agent. A bank also has approached the company to make an advantage equal to 80% of debt of 15%. So the bank will charge 15%, and there's a processing fee also of 1% of the debt. So we can calculate what are the charges kept by the bank. Would you accept factoring proposal or offer from the bank? So if you're the manager, if you're the finance manager there, which proposal you will opt? The one which is least costly for you. So let's evaluate factoring agent first. There is a reduction in bad debt, 6,000 rupees, and 48,000 is the annual management cost which is saved. So we will save 4,000 monthly. So there is an additional saving of 10,000 with the extra cost of commission of 30,000 rupees and a fees of 4,800. So there is a total cost of 34,800. Net cost will be 34,800 less 10,000, which is 24,800. So this is the cost of keeping factoring. If you evaluate the bank proposal, bank says that they will advantage equal to 80% of the debt. So 72% is the debt, 72% into 80% will be the one which is being financed by the bank. The charges are 15%. So bank will be into 15% is for the whole year. Multiplied by 12 will give you month charges of 6,000 rupees. And also there is a 1% processing fees of the total or debt. So 6 lakh is the per month debtors, multiply by 1% will be processing charges, 6,000 the fees. So if you evaluate bank proposal, they have a total charges of 22,000 rupees as compared to 24,800. So one thing I missed, that what is 10,000? So 10,000 is the net saving because of this factoring proposal, which you're not getting in the bank proposal. So 10,000 is the opportunity cost of not taking that factory proposal, because in that factory proposal you are saving 10,000 plus these expenses. So total expense will be 22,000 if you take up the bank proposal. So factoring give you 24,800, bank proposal gives you 22,000. So which one is beneficial? Bank proposal is more beneficial for the company. Thank you everyone, and keep smiling.